What if everything you believe is real is just a shadow on a wall? What if your opinions, your certainties, the things you would argue about until you lost your voice, what if all of it was just flickering light cast by a fire you have never turned around to see? This is not a modern thought experiment. A man named Plato asked this question 2,400 years ago in a book called The Republic, and it remains, to this day, the most dangerous question ever committed to writing. Because it does not ask what is true. It asks whether you are even capable of recognizing truth when you see it. Plato was not writing abstract theory. He was writing in the shadow of a real execution. His teacher Socrates, the wisest man in Athens, had been sentenced to death by a democratic vote. The people chose to kill the one person who kept asking them uncomfortable questions. And Plato spent the rest of his life trying to understand how a society could be so broken that it would murder its best mind and call it justice. The Republic is his answer, and it is not comforting. The centerpiece of the Republic is the allegory of the cave, arguably the most famous thought experiment in human history. Imagine prisoners chained in a cave since birth. They face a wall. Behind them burns a fire. Between the fire and the prisoners, people carry objects, statues, animals, tools, and the shadows of those objects dance on the wall. The prisoners have never seen anything else. To them, the shadows are reality. They name the shadows. They debate the shadows. They build entire philosophies around the shadows. Now imagine one prisoner breaks free. He turns around. The fire blinds him. He stumbles to the cave entrance and sees sunlight for the first time. The pain is overwhelming. His eyes cannot adjust. Everything he thought he knew collapses. But slowly, agonizingly, he begins to see the world as it actually is. Trees, sky, the sun itself, the source of all light, the source of all truth. Plato calls this the form of the good, the ultimate reality behind every shadow. Now here is the part that hurts. The freed prisoner goes back into the cave to tell the others. They think he is insane. His eyes, readjusted to darkness, stumble and squint. The prisoners laugh. They threaten him. If they could, Plato says, they would kill him. Sound familiar? They did kill Socrates, but the Republic is not just about caves. It is about justice. And Plato's answer is as radical today as it was in ancient Athens. He argues that justice in a society mirrors justice in the individual soul. Your soul, Plato says, has three parts. Reason, the part that seeks truth. Spirit, the part that seeks honor and courage. Appetite, the part that seeks pleasure, food, money, and comfort. A just person is one where reason rules, spirit enforces, and appetite obeys. When appetite takes over, when desire runs your life, you become a tyrant of yourself. Now scale that up. A just society mirrors the just soul. Philosophers, lovers of wisdom, should rule, not because they want power, precisely because they do not. The philosopher king is Plato's most controversial idea. He argues that the people most qualified to lead are those who have seen the sun, who understand the forms, who know truth, and who would rather stay in contemplation than descend back into the messy cave of politics. Democracy, Plato warns, is a beautiful but dangerous system. It does not select for wisdom. It selects for popularity. And the distance between a popular leader and a tyrant is shorter than anyone wants to admit. 2,400 years. And every word of the Republic still cuts. We still mistake shadows for truth. We still kill the messengers who try to show us the light. We still choose leaders based on charisma instead of wisdom. And we still let appetite rule when reason should be steering. Plato did not write a book. He wrote a mirror. and every generation that looks into it sees itself more clearly than it would like. If this changed how you think about truth, subscribe for more. Because the cave is still here, the chains are still on, and the fire is still burning behind you. The only question is whether you are ready to turn around. If this hit different, you need to check out Vortex. It is a private platform where ideas like books like The Republic by Plato, Book Summary come alive. Not just content, immersive worlds, AI that actually knows the material, a community that goes deep, private beta, limited spots, link in bio. Do not sleep on this.